choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me.
What do you know? What do you know? Le magazine anglais qui vous permet de baigner dans la langue de Shakespeare. What do you know? Une production et une réalisation de RAMATOU EYAWOLE.
Good evening. I'm delighted to have you around for our discussions of today's Saturday. Production and presentation is by RAMATOU EYAWOLE. My regards to our faithful listeners and also to the crew on duty. Today we are going to deliberate about issues concerning kidney. And in that framework, we are going to look at the functions of kidney and, if possible, the symptoms. And as you know, I'm not alone in the studio. I have my guest with me. Doctor, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
The faithful listeners would like to know you.
Yes, my name is Dr. Nate. I've been on this program for some time now, so I believe that my listeners have gotten to know us now. Thank you very much.
Okay, you are welcome. When we talk about kidney, what can you tell us? When they say kidney, what is the meaning?
Thank you very
much. For somebody who doesn't know anything about your field.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Kidney is one of the very important organs. The body is always having several organs. So we have the heart, we have the liver, we have the eyes, we have the heart and all the organs. And each of these organs have a role to play. The kidney is a very, 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 very important organ. It actually acts like a machine in the body. So what it does purposely is kind of an organ that serves as a factory or a machine. So anything that the body anything the body absorbs, whether it is drug, whether it is food, whether it is medicine, whatever the body takes, the waste or the things that are not good for the body, the kidney is the responsibility of the kidney to get rid of it.
Okay.
Now the question is, if the kidney is unable to remove some of these waste, then we begin to have a little bit of problems. So what we are going to do, we are going to look at a series of functions of the kidney, one by one. And God willing, if time allows us, we may give some few symptoms that if you begin to see, then that will tell you that there is something wrong with the kidney. Unfortunately, with other patients, it may not resolve in any symptoms. By the time you realized,
it's too late.
Then it's too late.
Wow.
And recently we are seeing a lot of kidney deaths. In fact, I think it's on the rise. Almost every week we see somebody almost at the last end where you can't even prescribe a drug. Now, at that stage, what you can do is that you only advise the person to go on dialysis, if that is a life support. If the person have money and he can do transplant, then that means that the person is getting to, it's getting more serious. So that is the issue that we are facing now. So let's look at the functions. The first function the kidney does is that it filters our blood. So the blood that we have in our body, and you know, these blood have a source, or they have sources. So your blood, we normally say you are what you eat. So the blood that you have came as a result of the food, the water, the drink, the drugs. So you see that when somebody is sick, we can prescribe a drug that will give you a little bit of blood. Now, all these blood, when it comes into the body, the kidney needs to filter it and then take the waste, the bad ones, and then throw it out into the kidney, and then the kidney also interacts with our bladder. So I'll come back to the urine, where the kidney deposits all this weight into the bladder. Then when you want to urinate, you go and urinate. So that is the first thing the kidney does. Now you realize that individual with blood pressure, diabetes, and all these things that we are seeing, what it means is that something is going wrong with somewhere. And we can only see, or we can only identify these things if the person go to do a lab, or what you call here echography. So the person can scan, and then we can actually see what we call the markers, and that will tell us the stage of the kidney, whether it is stage 1 or stage 2 or stage 3 or stage 4. Then we can advise us at what to do. So that is the first thing the kidney does. It filters the blood. Then number 2, I've talked about waste. So the other waste in the body, the excess fluid in the body, is also removed by the kidney. So whether it is a food, whether it is anything that is not good for the body, the kidney have to take it out and then deposit it, so that you can also throw it away through urine and through other means. Even sweating, when we come to the study, sweating is even part of it. It's also part of the waste that the kidney also removed. Then we can also talk about drugs. So the kidney also remove drugs from the body. So these drugs that we are talking about, it could be drugs that I have even prescribed for you, and then you are taking it. You know, when you are taking drugs, you have chemicals in the drugs, you have waste in the drugs. So all these things, when you take it, the body benefits from whatever you have taken, but there's a process. So when you swallow the drug, there's what we call in pharmacology distribution. And then there is what we call metabolism. Then the last, and what we call the excretion, is the job of the kidney. Now, before the drug will be able to work even to the body cells, but the body itself have to convert at the third stage, what we call the metabolism. So we call it biochemicals. So whatever you have taken, the liver will then convert the drug you have taken into biochemicals. Then the body can then take the part that it needs. Then from there, it hands over to the kidney. Then the kidney can also get rid of all.
Just a drug that you've taken, no?
Yes. When you take the drug, it goes through all these the 4 processes in pharmacology before the body can benefit. So if the body is not able to do the conversion, that is the metabolism, where the drug is converted into what we call the biochemicals. So there are people who are taking drug and it is not working for them because the body is unable to do this conversion. Some are able to convert, but there's a problem with the kidney. So you realize that the kidney is not able to remove. So one of the symptoms and the signs, we haven't come to that, but let me. One of the clear symptoms that we see without even looking at a test or echography or scan is when you see people faces or their eyes or their legs swelling. And so when you sit down with them, you ask them, they will tell you, oh, about 6 months ago, about 1 year ago, it used to come, then it go. That is how it is. It will come for a while and then goes away. Then, especially when you wake up in the morning, you see that your legs have come up. And then when you do a little bit of walking, it may kind of go down. At times you wake up in the morning and you see your eyes swelling or your face swelling. It comes and then it goes. All these is telling you that something is happening to the kidney. But for us, we can only confirm that with what we call the scan or the test or the echography that you have done. Then we can actually confirm it. So that is that's one. The next one is the kidney also. Well, it also regulates the salt in our body. So you realize that every doctor will tell you, reduce your salt intake, reduce your salt intake. The reason is that if your salt intake is high, the results of the waste rest in the kidney. And so as its result is it's there, it begins to destroy the kidney cells. It's not only the salt, protein. So every doctor will advise you, please, can you reduce your meat intake? So you consume amount of meat, a lot of meat, a meat that maybe 3 people, 4 people can use for
One
a
person
meal.
will
One person will sit
consume
and
it.
consume. Now, it is good you consume it, but at the end of the day, the 4 processes that I'm talking about, the last end is the amount of, because everything that you are consuming there is protein. And so, and the kidney also find it difficult getting rid of these protein. So it begins to accumulate. It begins to accumulate. Then you go and do a text or whatever, and then we see something we call creatinine. And then your creatinine is like BP or sugar test. You do your sugar test and we say, oh, your sugar test is high. So when you go and do the kidney test, we look at it and your creatinine is, if it's supposed to be 10, you are weighing around 30 or 40.
It's too much.
And so when I see that, I can say that this person is in danger. About 2 weeks ago, I had a report, and we asked them to do the kidney function test. Fortunately, they had done it. When they sent it to me, I realized that this person may not live for the next 1 month. And within a week, that person is gone. Because, and they were telling me all the symptoms that I've talked about, the swelling, tiredness, weakness, and all this. So you can have all the symptoms, but if we don't have the test or the lab,
You
can't
cannot conclude.
confirm. So all the symptoms. So you see that all the symptoms, other diseases can also give you. So for us to be
It
sure
is the scan that will
that
let
it
you
is
know exactly what is wrong with the
wrong,
person.
then we can advise.
Okay,
Omo, wetin dey happen?
Omo, nothing dey happen. Omo, no let modem.
Pam, mash carbon, you dey lost. Yoko koko, yeah, yoko koko. Jano, wo papa mo, Lord, we are crying down to our soul. We'll never let you go, 'cause we know there is sorrow. We never let you go, we know there is sorrow.
our faithful listeners can be part of our discussion. If you have a question about kidney, doctor, you can continue.
Thank you. So the next one that I want to talk about is common, which we advise everybody. Water intake. If you take a lot of water, it's good, because as you take water, we have water, we have alcohol, we have all the things, they are water. But water is the only clean that at least.
The alcohol is not clean.
No. Alcohol is serious. Because what the kidney has to take from the alcohol, it is. So you realize that when people are taking alcohol, let's say the person sits down for an hour or 2 and drinking, he can urinate like 3, 4, 5 times. Because at that time, you are even giving the kidney a lot of work to do. Because the kidney has to work very, very, very fast for the waste.
Then drinking is not good, if I should conclude from what you've just said.
As for drinking, everybody who drinks excess, the word here is excess. But at times we even advise that, okay,
there should be a small amount of alcohol in the body.
In the body, But in excess,
it's not good.
Your kidney, your liver, and all those stuff can actually damage. So when you take a lot of water, what it does is that it helps the kidney to actually remove a lot of the waste. Now, there is a danger here. Those who don't take water frequently, the body as we have contains about 70% of water. from other source, from your food, your akume, and all the food that you have eaten. So what happens is that if you are not drinking water, this is what the kidney does. The kidney always communicates with the bladder. The bladder is a storage, so that you can store, so you can feel like you want to go and urinate. But maybe the place is not convenient for you, so you want to just take some time. The bladder can keep it for you
For a while.
for a while. Now, if you don't take a lot of water, this is what happens. The kidney goes to the bladder, and don't forget that anything in the bladder is a waste. Unfortunately, if you don't take a lot of water, the kidney goes back to the bladder, borrow the waste, send it back to the blood. And then it begin to actually create a little bit of toxins in the blood. And so people who don't take a lot of water, this is the problem. It's a very, very, so you see people and you talk to them, they come to you, talk to them, and it seems they are doing everything right. They are diet, they are on their drug, they are this, but they don't know where it's coming from. So you talk to them and you say, oh, you ask them, so within the day, how many? Oh, you say, oh, I've taken just 1 glass of water. So if you take 1 glass of water,
it's not enough.
You are just harming the kidney indirectly. Water also, when you are taking it, it's not just, so this my bottle, I just take it and then put it in my mouth and then everything is gone. When you do that, you realize that within the next 20-30 minutes, you're going to urinate. The body we're not able to benefit.
So how are you going to drink and the body will benefit from it?
Yes. So this bottle,
Yes.
you can take about 10 to 15 minutes to be drinking it. So you sip it. And so actually water, we're supposed to sip water.
Oh.
You sip it a little. You sip it a little. You can try it. When you sip water, it will take you about 1 hour. If you are sipping water, it will take you about 1 hour or more for you to go and pee. That means that the body then begin to benefit from the water that you are taking. But if you just drink it,
Me, I don't know about what you are saying. No. If I want to drink water, I just drink. Within some seconds, I'm done.
No. So it's like taking the water and then pour it on the you pour it and it just go away. But when you sip, and just like the way you took it, if you watch carefully, the same way
You go and urinate.
you go and urinate very fast, the way you took it, very fast. And when you take your time to be taking it gradually, it will take very, very long time, and the whole body will benefit the water that you have taken. So that is another thing that we normally advise people to do, and especially it helps the kidney as well. It makes the kidney also relax a little. And then during the daytime, our muscles and the activity that we do, so you are walking, you are doing this, you are moving, so as you are walking and whatever you are doing, your muscles are active. What happened to the kidney relax a little. So the job of the kidney during the day is a little bit relaxed. But you realize that when you go to sleep, so people will ask, oh, why is it that when I'm sleeping, I go and urinate 2-3 times? If it goes beyond 3, then there may be an issue. But then it's supposed to be maybe twice, depending on the time that you slept. Yes, twice is okay. So during the daytime, exercises and walking and activity help the kidney a little, so that during the night, the kidney can actually do its work. Then also, the kidney have what we call stages. So, but that one, like I said, we can only talk about that when we have a lab or the person has done a test for us to see. So we can say, oh, you are stage 1, you are stage 2, you are stage 3. Now, all these stages, 1, 2, 3, yes, we can do something a little. Even stage 3, sometimes, especially if you are diabetic or if you have a BP, if you have these two conditions and you are stage 3, it's dangerous, because what it means is that the kidney is getting weaker and weaker and weaker all the time. So that is the kidney. There are other functions, but I think time will not allow us to go through.
You can.
Okay, so we will look at I will go through some of the symptoms so that our listeners will also have a benefit of, if you see some of these things, maybe 1 or 2 or 3, then it will inform you that something is happening to the kidney. Now, kidney problem can let a person urinate in excess.
Like when somebody is diabetic.
Yes, you can urinate in excess. At times you have difficulties in urinating.
Oh.
Yes, it can also be another option. And then you have what we call shortness of breath. Your breath becomes a little bit difficult. And then you have, I think I've mentioned, fluid around the legs. So your legs begin to swell a little bit. Not big, just small, then it goes away, it comes. At times it can persist for about a year while this swelling thing are still happening. And then you have problem also with sleeping. Yes, sleeping. So some of the sleepings that people will tell you, I can't sleep. Some, not all, some may be as a result of that. And then you may have difficulties in concentrating. You may have difficulties in concentrating because, all the fluids the waste that are supposed, all these things, you could see that it boils down to one thing. The kidney is unable to remove certain things. And so it is now accumulating the waste, and then your breath becomes a problem. You walk a little and then you are tired. A little bit and then you are tired. And so before people even get to know that it is kidney, it is too late. So that is the and then vomiting. You can not any vomiting, but this vomiting can come over and over and over and over. It's also a sign.
Okay.
Now, all these signs that we are explaining, like I said, for us, we need to have something that we can prove it that yes, these signs. But some of these signs, when more than two confirm, if more than 2 of these signs confirm, then it is then pointing to the kidney. There will be a problem.
Doctor, maybe somebody would like to have more explanation or to have a discussion with you. Can you give a number or where the person can see you?
Yes, so my number, my WhatsApp line, I think that is the one that I have often. 050.
That is Ghana number.
Ghana number, yeah.
Plus 233.
Yeah, plus 333.
50
999. The nines are 5. 99999. And then 14. 14.
Okay, let me help you like this.
Okay.
Plus 233. That is for WhatsApp.
Yes.
509999914.
That's.
I'm sure they will be able to get it like that.
Yes.
Plus 233 509999914.
Yeah. And then, okay. And then let me also add that we also help people who want to do transplants outside the country. And then that is when they have a serious condition that they want to do transplants. We also do help people like that. Okay,
thank you very much indeed. I'm so glad to have you in the studio of Radio Lomé for our discussions of today concerning kidney. God willingly, next week, Saturday, if you are available, we continue with another stage or we continue with a different thing altogether. So soon we've come to the end of today's discussions. My thanks and gratitude once again goes to Dr. Nate. It is on this note that we will wrap up today's discussion. My thanks and gratitude goes to production managers and control room operators, and to myself too. We've come to the end, as I said earlier on. Continue listening to Radio Lome. God loves you, so do I. Until next week, Saturday, you stay strong.